Okay, good. And we are recording. And welcome, family, to the family tree.
What's up?
And
What's up?
this,
What's up, everybody?
yes, I want to say welcome through, and you and your
Welcome.
family and your special guests, whoever you want to bring through. This is the time that we're going to talk about some good stuff, y'all. Holistic health for you and your family. The whole point
Yes,
and
yes,
concept
yes.
behind what we do here is that it's a family affair, and that your only real security is your social security. Everybody say social
Social security.
security.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow, say that real slow. What does that mean? It ain't a check, because some of y'all say that's my social security check. It's first of the
That's my
month,
social
y'all.
security.
First security check. No, social security. Sometimes we say it slow. Social security. That
Social.
means your only
Social.
real true social security is your family. So that's why we have this family tree. So we want to make it a place where you can bring all of your understanding or things that you don't understand
There you go.
to the floor, that we gather around the tree like back in the days, and we talk about whatever's going on so
There
that
you
we can
go.
strive and build as a community and a culture of people. All right.
Good.
So I want to start off the day by introducing my co-host and sidekick. That is Bill 1L Morgan over there somewhere.
Yeah, he's over
Hey,
here.
Big
I ain't
B.
telling nobody, but I gotta
Let's
keep
give
myself
Big B
close.
a hand. Let's
Hey,
give him a
hey,
hand,
hey,
y'all.
hey, 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 hey.
Let's give him a virtual
Hey,
clap.
everybody. I'm just having fun over here. Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, first of all, let me say this. Guys, thank you so much for your prayers last week. You know,
Yes,
it was
yes,
it was
yes.
great, and I was out there screaming my heart out, trying to make sure we was all on time and everything. And and
Mm.
but you know what? Let me just say this: nothing beats the East Coast. Okay,
Yeah.
I told you, y'all. It's just great being back, and again, I just want you to know as a thank you how much I appreciate the fact that you guys took the time out to send those prayers up to keep me held up during this time.
Mm.
All right, because it's
Yes.
been good, and I'm ready to go.
Hey, brother, we gonna keep you in prayer, and everyone I say that comes and joins this
Yes, yes,
forum. I always say a prayer over everyone that comes
yes.
through. That that the minds and the hearts of the people that are here to listen are not here by mistake. I always call it a divine appointment. The
Yes.
divine appointment is that you're here for a reason, maybe to get some information that's life changing. That's why every time I always say, get a pen and pad, because
That's
the
right. That's
information you
right.
take down could change and save your life or the life of somebody you love or somebody you didn't even meet yet. How
I
about
know that's
that?
right. I know that's
Sometimes
right.
it's a great segue into meeting somebody. He said, you know what? You need to leave that alone. Be like, what's wrong with you? Why you in my business? Gus,
Say, get out of my business. I'm
get
trying
out
to
of
tell
my
you.
business. And then you say, oh, well, you know what? You might have saved somebody's life.
Uh,
So thank you, Big B. I
yes, sir,
appreciate
my
you,
friend.
man.
Always, always, as
And
always.
tonight, I want to really just go into straight to the questions. I do have a topic that I want to talk about today.
Okay, okay.
Specifically, few people been coming through with the same issues,
Uh huh.
over and over. And whenever I see something of a trend happening, I want to bring the family to that
Right.
awareness that, yeah, we got to make sure that we look out for this.
Right.
So
Right.
I want to start off, and I'm just reading in order in which the number of the hands that raise as they go in order
Okay.
to my right. Remember, there is no dumb questions. The
That's
only
right.
dumb question is the one you didn't ask,
There you
right?
go.
So
That's right. That's
we're
right.
going to do things in decency and order, and just raise your hand. If you go down to, I believe it's on your reactions. Where is it be? On
Yeah,
the
when you go down
reaction section.
where it says, guys, where it says reaction, if you click on
Right.
that, right,
Right. If
you
you
have
have a
there's a hand
question,
clap, there's a thumb up, there's a heart, there's a
right.
crying one, and
Right.
there's one
Just
that
go
says,
ahead. Yeah,
okay,
just a hand, this
and
the
just
yellow
push
hand
up.
that you push up. Okay. Now, if you are on the phone, just make B just make B try to listen out for someone who's on the phone
I
who
sure will,
cannot do that. Okay.
most definitely will.
All right. All right. As we still let folks in, folks are coming in big
Yes,
time.
yes.
Y'all had nowhere else to go, huh? Because it's about to get crazy outside.
Yeah, from what I understand about this new storm coming on, it's
Yes.
supposed to be a doozy. So guys,
Yeah,
be
and
careful, take
also,
care of yourselves.
right, and also we want to say prayers out for those that are living in Houston, in Texas,
Yes, indeed,
for
indeed,
what's
indeed.
happening with the power, y'all. One thing you don't realize is that, yeah, you're always in a state that's always warm, but you never realize that there's a storm that comes through. Many people were not prepared. That power grid that's down there is an independent power grid. They were
Yes.
off the
Yes.
grid from what's called the national, standard for when you actually have. There's a standard for rules and regulations for power. They were off of that, which they had about 21% of their energy came from solar. The
Yeah.
other one came from about the rest. I think 50% came from oil. So
Yes.
their generators went down. They just didn't have enough power to power the state, or actually not the state, just the Houston.
Right.
And here
Right.
it is. People are now cooking outside. It's really crazy, and it's cold. And in the water that they do have that's in storage, it's frozen. So it's really a bad situation. So let's keep them in prayer. All right, family. But
That's right.
also, it
That's
just
right.
reminds us to always and forever be prepared for situations like that, because when it freezes, those lines freeze, and boom, they go down. All right, I'm going to go with the first hand up. I have Robin. Robin, you there?
Hi everyone. Hope all
Hey,
Hi,
is well.
Robin.
how you doing?
I was in an accident today. It was not my fault, so just keep me in prayer. I'm in a little pain.
Oh, you had
All
an
right.
accident?
Yeah, someone hit me in the back.
Oh, sorry to
So
hear
it's
that.
the
So
worst.
sorry.
Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be
You're
fine.
okay though,
But
right?
it just triggered the pain that I'm already in.
Mm.
Well, we don't want that to happen,
Yeah,
Robin.
so
Yeah,
sorry to hear that, but take it easy, okay?
I am, I promise.
Yeah, first time, we trying to get the trauma. Was it a rear end hit?
Yes, it was a
Yeah,
rear
see,
end
that's
hit.
always
Yes.
the one that's the jerking forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Whiplash is the more of the
Correct.
shock. So now
Yes.
they're trying to relieve through therapy the trauma that's in the muscles in the back. Okay, so take your time, get a good chiropractor and therapist. Okay, with
Yes, I
that,
am gonna
with
I
that
am gonna
back.
do that.
Yeah, physical therapy is a must. Okay, what was your question today?
So I have problems with my vertical from time to time. And it I was off balance for about 3, 4 days this week
Mm-hmm.
or into the week. So my
Mm-hmm.
question to you is, and yes, I do have an appointment to come see you, but I want to know what can I do to control my vertical up until I see you to get my
Okay.
whole assessment.
Okay, so you're
Vertigo now.
speaking
We're talking
vertigo.
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 Right. Yes.
Vertigo is
Yes.
the imbalance. You're out of balance. We have to find out what is causing the vertigo. Vertigo is a sort of spinning kind of feel
Yeah.
or out of
Correct.
balance. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Mhm.
Now,
Yes, that is.
are you experiencing this vertigo? When are you experiencing the vertigo?
Okay. Okay, so I experience it when I'm sitting in the sauna, when I was in the shower, and the worst is when I try to go to sleep or close my eyes and the room just
Yeah.
spins.
When you look
Mm,
down, huh?
okay.
Yes.
Now, first thing we have to look for is structural issues.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
structural. I want everybody to write this down. Structural issues are the first things that you want to look for, because structural means that there could be some things going on structurally with the spine. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
specifically would be the cervical spine. Okay, cervical from C1 to C7 usually controls those areas that are the ear, the eyes, from the top of the head all the way to about the thyroid. That's the area that it controls. So if you have there's small bones there. So if you have contraction, which is bone touching nerve, or any areas of inflammation in between those areas or in the disc, you're going to have issues that are pressing, and it's going to deal with vertigo, things like that. So that's one thing. That's only something I would say, get a structural correction. Make sure you get to a good chiropractor. Got it?
Can I just say one thing? I do
Mm-hmm.
have a problem with my C1, 2, and 3. I have a bulging disc,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and it irritates my right side.
Yep. That would be exactly where, see, one, two, and three is the ears. That's
Okay.
ears. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's ears and issues of one, two, and three. You have the atlas, the axis, and then you got all the way down.
Mhm.
So that's really where that's where the dizziness, you have to correct that first. See, there's no herbs or anything that's going to correct that. That's a structural issue. That means there's
Mm.
contraction. Something's pressing on there. In this case, it's the disc, which is the sort of disc between the vertebrae. You got it? Is that what you said? You said it was, they did recognize it as
I'm
that?
saying they did recognize it but I could have given you, I know I have a L5 problem, but it's right in the structure of the neck and the shoulder. So that might be C4, C5
That's
in that
correct.
in that area.
Closer to where that bone
Correct. Yes.
comes right
Right there where
out.
you point at. Yes.
Right,
That's
that
where all,
knot.
yes,
Right
that's
where
a
that
knot.
knot is, that's the C7 right there.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's where the
Okay.
pain is.
So it's right up there, right? So that would mean that you're moving forward. Okay, the head's moving forward. The way you can check yourself is that your shoulder should be in line with your ear. You got it?
Okay.
So if I'm sitting right here, your shoulder should be in line with your ear. And if it's not, it's moving forward, then that
Right.
means you have to tuck the chin. Now, there is a brace that we use. There's a brace that I recommend
Okay.
that you want to get. And this brace is something, family, you all can get this one. This brace is a very useful device. And, you know, they got this thing they got this terminology it's called, you know, that we're laughing at it now, but it's called text neck.
I do apologize, but the cops is here. So I'm gonna take this.
Cause you're
I'm
doing
gonna
like
put
this
you on
all the
hold,
time.
okay?
Okay, all right,
Cause
all
like
right.
this.
So you should go on regular on mute.
Exactly.
I'll make sure
I have
you're
a
on
real
mute.
problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I did. How are you? I'm good. Sorry it took so long. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. So they have this thing called text neck. And the text neck means that people's heads are moving forward like this because what? Everybody's what? Looking at the television, looking at the, you know, keyboard, driving,
phone,
everything
all
is
that kind of
forward.
stuff.
You got it?
Yes.
Everything is forward. So they have this thing called text neck where it's pinching on the spine and all those vertebrae from C7 all the way up to C1. Got it? So if that happens, remember, that's what spinal fluid is feeding the rest of the body. That includes your eyes, that's your brain, you know, your ears, you know, your sinuses, all of that. You know, that's where the signal is going through. So if you're now moving forward like this, that cuts that signal. Now you're going to have issues in those areas. So you got to get this thing called a brace. It's actually there's actually one. Let me pull it up, dude. It's funny because when I saw this today, I started laughing because they come up with names for everything, man. This was called text neck. So there is a brace that you can get, and you can get it right at Walmart. Yes, you can.
Wow.
Yes, you can. You can get one right from Walmart, man. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
And the name of it is text neck.
No. That's the condition. The condition is called text neck. Okay. Here it is right here. I got it right here. I'm going to share this with y'all, right? And let me tell you, this thing is really good. It really does work. And it's right at Walmart. I was like, wow, this is pretty neat. So I'm going to share this. Let me share this real quick so that you can see. And I was very, very surprised about this, but it is one of the best things that you can probably do for your body when you have that. Can y'all see that?
No. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, I've seen those before.
See what's happening here. This is actually just reminding you. Okay, you can adjust it in ways. So for your back, it goes from this area right here in the middle of the target back, but it also wraps around the waist area. Got it? So what's this good for? It adjusts to fit any size. And as you see the woman here, she puts it around and then she ties it around her waist. But it also goes around the back side also. So it gives you the added protection to keep you aware when you're leaning forward. It's just a reminder. It's not a correction. It's a reminder so that you keep forward. See, when you start to lean forward and that C vertical starts to move forward, you start to round your shoulders. You got to start rounding your shoulders. You got to pull your shoulders back. You got to pull your head up. You got it? So that's what this is good for. It's an excellent piece. Say, for example, this is a perfect example here. See the gentleman's head? See that curve right here?
Yeah.
See how his shoulder is not in line with his ear?
Yeah.
And now on this one, it is. It's more in line with his shoulder. You got it? From here to here. As opposed to here, this is his shoulder. See where it is? His ear's supposed to be about around here, but it's forward. He's moving forward. That's pressing on the spine, and that's causing problems. But here's an example when someone's like working at their table or their desktop or cooking or whatever, and you're moving forward all the time. That's going to cause problems with you leaning forward. Then you get that little knot in the back of your head and your back of your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got that? Y'all know what
You
that
can get
is,
this
right?
all day.
yeah, I can feel it.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know what that is. So that's excellent. It's $19, 1988.
Wow.
And you can wear it all day.
You can wear it right under your blouse, ladies, gentlemen. You can put it under your t-shirts. It's very light, and it's made out of hemp. This is the part that I like. It's made out of hemp. So hemp is one of the strongest materials that you can use, and yet it's natural. So it's not going to be for someone who has allergic reactions to certain types of chemicals and things like that to their skin. Hemp is probably the safer of all of them. Okay, so that's not a bad piece for average person to get, and it's just while you're on the computer, have your brace on. It helps you to keep your spine correct. All right.
What's the name of it?
It's called Hemp Vana. Hemp Vana.
Arrow posture hemp.
Mm-hmm. Don't be a slouch. That's what it's. You heard that? Don't be a slouch. Get a hemp brace, and that will help you. So hopefully Robin got that. But that's what I would do whenever you have that. There's trauma in the back. And remember, every nerve in your back is connected to an organ in your body. So there's people who have misalignments in their T2, their T5, the T10, all the way down to the L1 through the L5, causing all the problems that they have. You have a structural issue. Remember, if your car gets totaled, they call it a total loss if the frame is destroyed.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
You could have all the devices and electronics and everything working, but if that structure is destroyed, that car is total. You got it? That's important because just like with the car, your framework has to be in order. And that means no touching, no contraction. Got it? All right, family? Good question. Good question. Hope she's okay over there. All right. I'm going to go to the next person as we let more people in. Folks is coming in now. Wow. Okay. Who else do I have here? I have Khadijah. Khadijah?
Yes.
Is Khadijah there?
There she
Yes.
Hey,
I'm
Khadijah,
good.
how you doing?
I'm good, thank God. How about you?
Oh, I'm good, thank God.
Wonderful. Hello, family.
is. Hey,
Yes.
Khadijah.
All right. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, you had said when we're taking the cleanse, when we finish taking the cleanse, we should take your product for, what are they, Kenny?
Eliminator.
Yeah, the eliminator. So
Hmm.
now, how many capsules are we taking? Are we taking one a day for 30 days and then the eliminator?
No, the reason why there's two. First of all, you can't go wrong, no matter what you decide to do. Okay, because it's food. There's two methods that you have. The layman's term, which is on the bottle, goes through a day of based on what's called desired results. You ever heard that? It says it right on the bottle. What is desired results? That means that once you eat, you soon after eliminate. You should be eliminating after every time you eat, right? Once you
Yes.
eat, you must eliminate. So that's a desired result. Got it? If
Okay.
you're not, that's when you should increase one tablet. That's the concept. I usually tell folks start off with just one capsule after a meal. Okay, that's what I usually tell folks when you're first starting off, because people are at different level and stages because people have different choices of food. Some people are more heavy meat eaters. Some people are more veggie eaters. Some people are just, sporadic. They're all over the place. So some people have had cleanses before. Some people, this is the very first time they ever tried a cleanse. So
Okay.
with so many different variations, there is no wrong way of doing it. Okay. You just want to get started. The concept is cleanse and sweep. We cleanse because when you cleanse, those are the herbs that go in and remove the fecal matter that's binding to the lining of the walls of the lower intestines and the large intestines. That stuff gets like a brick in some people's system. And if you are a meat eater, some people never get a cleanse. They can find somewhere they've found as much as 50 to 100 plus pounds of fecal matter left in
Yes,
someone
yes,
after
yes.
they've passed away.
That
It's
was
just,
expressive.
yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. Just
exactly.
sitting in the gut. Some of it gets so bad that it starts to sort of elongate the large intestines to the point where it starts to derange the colon. It's called a
Yeah.
deranged colon. So that
Yeah.
means that it's sort of like the colon is like, look, I'm trying to get this stuff out of here. And the colon literally starts to try to move it itself. Ain't that
Yes.
crazy? That's amazing. That's amazing. That means that the colon is so packed and impacted with that stuff. It's trying to like spin it itself, but it's also elongating at the same time. So some people's colons were like ridiculous sizes because of the excess. So when you cleanse, once you cleanse, then you follow up with a sweep. And the reason why you're sweeping, because if you're eating, mostly everybody, and I don't care what people say, I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan, and all that. I don't. Everybody got parasites. Did y'all hear that?
I heard that. I heard.
Somebody
Yeah.
say, I'm squeaky clean. No, you're not. If you human, you got parasites, okay?
Right, right.
It's to what level and what degree that it's in the body. It's part of the degeneration process. That's why we have maggots. Y'all know what a maggot is, right? What is a maggot? Okay. Without maggots, nothing would deteriorate when it comes into matter. Got it? It would never deteriorate. Think about that. It would never break down. That's what a maggot's job is. It
Yes,
breaks
yes.
down matter. Got it? So when you're cleansing, you cleanse, and the follow-up, parasites try to procreate. They want to survive just like everything else that's alive. If they
There you
feel
go.
they're threatened, they're going to try to spawn more eggs. They lay more eggs. And sometimes if they're under attack, will lay them by the thousands into your intestines. So while you're cleansing and you thinking you're doing well, if you just cleanse and don't sweep, after about a week or so, you're going to say, wow, I did a cleanse last week, and all of a sudden I'm feeling really bloated. What's going on? Or you having all these other side issues, or skin starts to get real scratchy, and you're like, wow, I'm scratching all. That's because the parasites are active now. So the highest time of activity, same way you took the colon cleanse, you would do the same thing with the parasite cleanse. That's the eliminator. Okay?
So if I would take the cleanse for a week, then start with the eliminator.
Right after you finish the
After I
colon
do
cleanse.
the cleanse, do the eliminator. And then if I cleanse again, do the eliminator. I got you.
Right. It's always a 1-2 punch. That's why we call it the 1-2 punch. Knock them out of there. Eliminate them.
And I've seen how the intestines can get messed up looking like a dirty rag from Dr. Jensen.
Amen.
Dr. Bernard Jensen, he has a book
Yeah.
on cleansing. Those intestines looks terrible.
Yeah. And it's all based on the processed foods that people are eating. They're destroying the gut. And also the matter in the gut that they're destroying is the villi. That's your ability to absorb or assimilate. If you can't assimilate, then it's just nothing just sitting in your gut and sit and sit and sit. And that's where constipation happens, and you can't move this stuff, and then it starts to now move into other parts of your body, other parts of the flesh. That's why we say, if you're not moving the intestines, it's going to start to move and metastasize into other parts of the body. So 1 inch from the navel, ladies, that's the top of the uterus. That's
right.
where we find the fibroid, the cyst, and the tumors. Then it'll move into the lining and eventually into the uterus. Now we got a big problem. So that's when it now starts to attach to the walls and all around the area. Then they're talking DNC and all this other stuff. So we say don't get to that point. Cleanse every change of seasons. Beginning of every summer, winter, spring, fall. Do something. Got it? You got to do something. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. All right. Also, one last thing for men. Just like women, it's in the front area from the lower intestines. For men, it's in the rectum. For men, it's the rectum. Gets trapped in the rectum, and then from the rectum, very thin wall, moving right into the prostate. So a lot of the issues that men have, pre-conditions that men have that lead to prostate problem, starts with constipation. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. We got Helen. Helen,
Good evening, Dr. Paul, Bill,
how
and
you
everyone.
doing?
Hi.
Good. So my question is in regards to red blood cells and white blood cells. When I spoke to one of my doctors, she said that white blood cells were down to 2.6.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wanted to send me to a specialist. But then after that, they were letting me know that for African American, or at a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not the same as Asian. So I wanted to know what your perspective was on it and what should I do, to try to move them up.
Okay, first of all, I would never do a comparison of you and Asian or a Caucasian, number one. That's number one, okay? Whenever you're doing any contrast, it has to be somebody that look like you
There you
and
go.
me
There you go.
and us and from a place where we come from. You got it? That
Right.
does matter. It's a major issue. Everything is not for everybody, or else we would all look the exact same thing. We share a lot of anatomy the same, but there's other things that are definitely different than us. And that's where you have to look at control studies, okay? You would have to look at control studies. This is research now. We've done research, which call evidence-based research. And this is where we have to look at exactly what they're saying has to apply to you directly. You got me? It's very important. We tend to not be the gatekeepers of our own information. And I can be definitely a witness of that because when I was doing research, I had data that I researched and I turned in, but when the data was processed, it didn't say what I said. And that's what I had a problem with. You got me?
Right.
So it's very, very important that we understand that first. Get the control studies if that's your interest. Okay. The greater thing that you just said is that I would concentrate on is cleaning the blood. Got it? That's what
Right.
you have to do. You got to focus on cleaning the blood. We say clean the blood because the blood is the essence of everything. It is your most holy sanctuary. Sanctuary is your blood. You got it? So when you're cleansing it, usually we tend to have the biggest, as people of African American descent, tend to have the biggest problems with our blood because we are far away from the equator. You got it?
Right.
Our tent has a lot to do with the equator because that's where the hottest place on the sun is on the equator.
Right.
So that's where the hottest point and where your DNA comes from. Now you're living in the northern hemisphere. You're not getting all the sunlight. Got it? So that sunlight doesn't enrich your body to fire off the what these called vitamin D receptors and things that fire off from the pineal gland. All those good things that clean the blood can't fire off. So now we tend to have blood deficiencies in the northern hemisphere. You got it? So that's where the term homesick comes from. It says, it's not because you just yearned to be from where you come from. It means you're sick because you're not eating from where you come from or getting the nutrients from where you come from. So what does that mean? All right, we wrap that up by saying you have to now cleanse the blood. Got it? So you have to look to all those things that when you build blood count, you clean the blood by cleaning the liver. Okay, y'all got that? Clean the liver. So you have to go back to those. That's why they were called sacred herbs, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. I'm gonna give you a few. Burdock root, that's the one. That one right there balances out, cleanses, starts to regenerate the red and the white blood cells. Reds are much smaller than about uh, 4 times smaller than the actual larger ones, which would be the white blood cells, which are the fighters. Okay, those are your soldiers, those are your warriors. Whenever there's something to fight, that's your white blood cells. Reds are bringing the storage of food to the rest of the body. Got it? You follow me, Helen? Okay,
Yes.
so what you want, you got to have those blood cleansers. Do you have any blood cleansers at all, or herbs that you are taking right now?
Yes, I talked to Shakir. He get me a blood internal cleanser.
Right, but
Natural.
what herbs are those?
They have nettle in there and some other herbs in it. I won't
Okay,
look.
let me explain on a further level. When you're when you're cleaning the blood, you have to regenerate the marrow, because the marrow is what produces the blood, right?
Right.
That's why when people start to have bone issues, that's usually meaning that you got to clean that blood. You got it? So when you start to do things like the burdock root,
Mm-hmm.
you can use the pau d'arco, you can use the red clover, you can also use things like you know there's things like cleavers,
I have
there's
burdock.
things like poke root. I mean, there's so many blood cleansers. Dandelion. Okay, these are just some off the top of my head that I'm just rolling off. Just there's more blood cleansers than anything. Golden seal root. Okay, those are blood cleansers. Also, comfrey. Comfrey is a very good one.
I have.
Matter of fact, comfrey, is that comfrey? What do you have?
This is natural. Natural.
Blood and I can't see what it says. Internal cleanser. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, give me some of the herbs that are on there.
Okay. I'm going to put the right on here. Okay. So it has bilberry, garlic, bitter melon. It
Hmm.
has ning. It has hawthorn, burdock. Uh,
Some of them just mentioned, right? Yep.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Kelp, stinging nettle.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Saw nettle, horsetail, parsley.
Oh yeah, horsetail is another one. Very good. Horsetail is a serious cleanser. That's like an insecticide for the body. Okay?
All right.
So you got the right formula. So the
Right.
main thing you have to do is take it with consistency. Usually you try to do it as recommended on the bottle. Usually maybe say 2 capsules 3 times a day, something like that. What does it say?
Right. So it's I've been taking it like 2 times, like you're saying, after each meal. They're
Right.
serving time two
Right.
capsules. Yes.
Right. See, the important thing is to stay level. You got it? You got to take it breakfast, lunch, dinner. Got it?
Yeah.
That's an important circadian rhythm that you have to have, and just
And it's been hitting me,
maximize your
hitting me
water.
regular. Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
Now, when you're cleaning the blood, I want everybody to write this one down. This is major important. That means that when you start to clean the liver, okay, that's the blood. Remember, there's also a spiritual connection to this thing. You got it? You know, we're connected spirit, mind, and body in that order. Mm. Woo. Mm. So that means that you say, well, wait a minute, how does it have to be that order? Because I've always heard mind, body, and spirit. Spirit, mind, and body in that order. Something came to mind. Where was it? It was with the Father, came to your mind, and then your body moved. Got it?
There you
That's
go.
the concept. You got it? So when you're doing this, there's a spirit to every one of your organs. You got it? So each organ has its job, and the liver specific job is emotions. That's the organ of the emotions.
All right.
Drama, trauma, stuff. You know, anything you're going through, unresolved conflicts in the liver.
All of our problems, right?
Got it? That's what we can verifiably say. There's congestion in the liver. We see it. This thing, first indicators may come with this thing called bilirubin that we look in the urine. From there, you can say, wait a minute, this person's really going through something. Because you know what? The liver is the only organ connected directly to your brain. It's called laws of complementary pairs, meaning you're hooked up. When people, if you've ever heard anybody say, well, you know what? So and so went in the hospital, and boy, they said all systems fail. Multiple system failure. That means that the last thing to go down is going to be the liver, because that's what keeps the brain moving. That's the battery to the brain. but that's also the nuclear reactor. That's your power source. It has 8 hours of reserved energy
There you
is
go.
in that liver. Ain't that something? It's like a battery pack.
Wow.
So that's why it has to keep its energy. You got to keep it clean. You got it? You got to keep it clean. So when you're doing these herbs, I want you to maximize your water. And if you ever, for whatever reason, start to feel headachy or nauseous, that is actually a sign that it's working, but you're not getting enough water. Got it? See, the body will say, wait a minute, I'm going to go in. This herb is going to say, I'm going to go in and I'm going to wrap around whatever that is. I need to pull out of that, to cleanse that liver and to regenerate it. But I'm going to bind to it and I'm going to arrest it and get to it. But guess what? I got one more thing. You got to do something. What you got to do? You got to flush me out.
That's
You
right.
got me?
Right. That's right.
Doesn't that make sense? That's
Yes.
exactly what it does. It goes in, it's going to bind to the poison, the bacteria, virus, fungus, whatever it needs to go. But you got to flush it out. So the only signal that the body can send you to let you know to drink water, it says, send him a headache, send her a headache.
Right.
Make her sick, make her feel like she going to throw up. You sitting there going, oh, I ain't taking that herb no more. Ugh. You got me?
Yes.
That's what you do. So make sure if you're cleaning the blood, you make sure you drink plenty of water and the right water.
Right.
Right? That's when you see game changer. So you get a good water, spring water bottle at the source, you're going to see some change. That's going to build the blood count also. Also, don't forget about the red onions and the garlic. Those are things that if you're not into herbs, you just want to say, I just like my teas, grab you that onion tea, that red onion, organic red onion, drop that thing in that crystal geyser water, boil it, and drink it all day. How about that? Keep it hot. You
There you
drink it
go.
all throughout the day, you can declot every artery and vein in 48 hours. Deep leg thrombosis, things
Yes,
like,
yes, yes.
issues with, it's a natural antibiotic. It does so many things for the body. It has this ability to help to regenerate the liver, but clean the blood, clots that are all in the plaque that builds up all in the triglycerides, things like that. So, yeah, don't forget about the red onion and that garlic. Those are also blood builders. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Helen. Thank you so much. Great question, though. Great
Thank you so
question.
much.
Great
Good night.
question. I think you helped somebody tonight. We all tend to suffer from this, and it spawns from blood deficiencies. There's blood deficiencies of sickle cell. We get things like multiple myeloma, any of those autoimmune, sarcoidosis, fibromyalgia, endometriosis for some women, things that like lupus, things like also, there's one condition called G6PD enzyme deficiency. These things don't even talk about anymore, but it just means blood. Got it? We got to clean the blood. We're not from this northern hemisphere, so we're going to have all these problems, and it usually stems from lack of light, vitamin D, all the energy, because all these pollutants and things, the GMOs, the bad weather, the pollution. You remember I came and told y'all a couple of weeks ago, I said, just because you live in the city, you knocking off 10 years off your life.
I know that's right.
Did y'all hear that? Just by living in the city with the electromagnetic fields and the airports and the trains and the pollution in the cars, you knocked off 10 years off your life. Know when they said that? 10 years ago. How about that? All right. Okay. Let's see. What's the next question? Who do we have now? Bill, you got anybody over there?
I have one here. What question was? What can you do about gout, Dr. Paul?
Gout is, again, going back to acid. As soon as you see anything dealing with pain, you got to think acid. I want everybody to write pain equals acid. That's what you need to write down. That's acidosis. That's it, y'all. That's it. If you can get this acid together and alkalize the body has no reason to go to those areas, like the joints, the connective tissue, and the bones, and all that, to strip that out. You know, allopathic will say that, oh, the body's attacking itself. It's going after the bone. No, it's not attacking. It's trying to keep you alive. So it's going to go to the only source that it can to try to heal. So, for example, I had a situation, we had a situation where someone was having these back problems. They were like back problems like crazy. They were like, oh, my back is killing me. But guess what? Found out they weren't drinking any water. So the kidneys are now aching to the point where they're bending over. And guess what? The kidneys are pulling energy out of the spine, trying to grab that energy out of the spine. It's crazy. That's almost like if you see your hands, everybody raise your hands like this. Everybody raise your hands up like this, right? Look at your hands. I want you to look at your hands. Look at them from the backside, right? Look at your backside. Do you see any of your fingers kind of curving? Kind of like one curving to the other side. And you say, you know, one look like he leaning to the other side, like he's minding his other business or something. It's like, why my finger? Or you might see, you ever see that? How the fingers be curving? Anybody? Well, that has
In the toes.
it has to happen in the toes too. Yep. That has everything to do with energy, the body's energy, the meridians in the body, and the flow of energy in the body tends to like move. So if you have a weak finger, usually if there's a weak finger, that weak finger tends to now move towards wherever can. Somebody's got to come on. Somebody's got to mute. Come on, y'all. Come on. So that finger is actually moving to the stronger finger to grab its energy. It's crazy. It's wild. But that is what the body's doing. So that's why you'll see one finger maybe like moving like this, and you say, man, this finger just keeps moving over there, or it curves or something like that. You'll see that also in feet, things like that. But that's the reason why. So that means this is an energy game. Everything is about energy. And that's the only game that the body knows is energy. And it's not the food, it's the energy in the food that the body's looking for. Got it? So that's why it's important for you to get good food that has good source of energy. All right? All right. Cindy. I got Cindy on the line. Cindy?
Hi, Dr. Paul. Hi, family.
Hey.
I had two questions. One, you might have answered about the gout. I was talking about, when I asked about plantar fasciitis, and you hear that pain. Is that like the acid?
Yeah, it's right. It's like a fluid that flows in the back of it's right in the back of the leg, right? In the back of that cut, in the heel. Yeah. So it's actually, yes, that's a little bit of that. You got to look at the acid. You remember, we did a acid alkaline chart. Do you have the pH strips?
Yes.
Yeah, make sure you're testing yourself. You know how to test it, right?
I do.
Okay.
You do. And I have an appointment to come see you too.
Okay, so you know how to do both, right? You do both, saliva and urine. Remember, we went over that, right? I don't know if you heard that. Did you get it?
I did listen to that one.
Okay, good. So remember, for anyone that's listening, the formula for pH balance, that pH formula is you take the saliva and the urine. And it's like the urine over saliva. And then you double the saliva, add to the urine, divide by 3. That will give you your holistic number. So double the saliva, add to the urine, divide by 3. All right? And that'll give you where you are. You're supposed to be between a 6.5 and a 7.5. 6.5 to 7.5. If you're in that area, in that zone, that means your body's spinning in the right direction. That means your cells move and energy moves. When it's healthy, it's an alkaline state that moves to the right. That's called anion. Okay? So catione is when it moves to the left and fast. That's acid. That's when it's tearing down. Catione. That's all about energy. So if you can stay in that zone, 6.5 to 7.5, ultimately 7.3 is awesome. If you can do a 7.3, whoo, you're gonna see some stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
You're gonna see
indeed.
some stuff turn around. You're gonna say, wow, I thought I would never get rid of that. And it actually balances out. Got it? See, we never really get that real energy. We're living on a continent that we're far away from the sun. We're far away from real energy, real nutrients. Y'all ever go to the Bahamas? Y'all want to go to Bahamas?
Mm-hmm.
And when everybody go to Bahamas, what happened? Y'all come back and say, why am I here? Why am I here? I need to go back. I was feeling good until I got off that plane back in Philadelphia. And that's what happens, family. You are really understanding how you felt with that sun penetrating your pineal gland and resonating all of your body. That's all full spectrum of light down where you're closer to the equator. Got it? All right, Cindy, anything else?
And I had one more question. The brown spots in the whites of your eye, what is that?
The brown spots in
You
the
know how,
whites. Mm-hmm.
uh-huh.
Well, I mean, we always say, you got to cleanse the eye. You don't cleanse anymore. We go into iridology, and you can see other things that, like the veins and the things in the eye. That has a lot to do with circulation, circulation issues, and that means that you're losing circulation in the eye. If they start to turn yellow, that becomes more of a liver problem.
Okay.
That's where things like jaundice comes from. So usually the eyes, when you see the veins start to appear, that's a circulation. Too much processed foods. That's too much fried foods. Too much processed foods. Refined sugar, refined salt, refined oil. So you got to back off of those. And also, I would do a eye wash. I would start to do eye washes.
Okay.
Eye washes would be, what's really good? Coconut oil. Coconut oil for the eyes. There's a little corners of the eyes, where the little ducts are. Good for putting a little bit of that in those corners. Helps out a lot. Okay.
Is there a specific type of coconut oil, Dr. Paul?
Yeah, make sure it's unrefined.
Okay.
No refined coconut oil, no hydrogenated coconut oil. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. Great question. All right. Y'all got some good questions out here tonight.
Could you please repeat that formula, please?
Sure. That was double the saliva.
Talk slow because they're trying to get it typed into the chat, Dr. Paul.
Okay.
So we can make sure that the folk get it.
Okay, so double the saliva, add to the urine, divide by 3. Right? And then that's your holistic number for your pH. Now, if it falls below 6.5, you're in a state of acid. You're trying to stay between 6.5 and 7.5. If you need to get a chart, you can go right to my website, which is drpaulherbs.com, and you can go to downloads, and you can download the acid alkaline chart. It's like a chart. B, you got it, right?
That's right here.
And it'll actually give you a breakdown. Okay? All right, Laverne. Laverne, you got that red onion. I see you.
I went to the market and they had organic over here and regular red onion. Now they look the same, they smell the same. So can we use either or? Either one.
Laverne say they try to confuse somebody. All right, here's the thing, Laverne. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
There is a difference, is conventional versus organic. Okay.
This one is the organic.
Okay. And is that one, did it say it was conventional?
This was the regular one.
Okay, so the one with the 9 on it is the organic, right?
Oh, I didn't see no 9. I didn't look for that.
Bless your heart. Go ahead. Yeah, you're supposed to look for a number 9 on that organic, okay?
All right.
There's a little sticker on there. You probably cut it off.
you
It's
see the
probably on the
sticker?
other end.
Yeah, I probably cut it off.
Yeah,
I
you
just
probably.
bought these.
Okay, so here we. I want to right. I want to help somebody here with this. I had this situation where my cousin sent me something that was real disturbing. he says, cuz I know you talk about this red onion all the time. He says, but I went to the store and there was a little sign that said it was conventional and it says, do not boil these onions.
Oh,
You got to be kidding.
oh my goodness.
He says, he says, I'm totally confused because what is it? I said, it's because it was conventional and they spray conventionals.
There you go.
Now you
All
put
right.
that in some boiling water and you're going to accelerate that thing and now it becomes poison, like a toxin. So that's why I keep telling y'all, make sure it is
Get the right stuff.
organic. Got
All
it?
right.
Just in case.
Thank you
I
so much.
can't verify that. I can't verify that other than he took a picture of it and sent it to me. And it was on the actual in the market. It had a picture there that said, "Don't boil these."
Thank
And
you.
I said, "Wow, man, you're actually going to tell people not to boil onions? Are you crazy? What does that mean?" That
Right.
means that it's that toxic. It's they're spraying that thing with what's called chlorpyrifos. Chlorpyrifos
Thank you much,
is
doctor.
yeah. Great question. Great question, Laverne. Chlorpyrifos is that one that they're having problem with, y'all. They used to put it in Black Flag and Raid. I keep telling
Yes,
you.
yes,
No.
yes.
Mm-hmm. And then they took it out in 1996, but they never stopped spraying the conventional fruits and vegetables. Got it? So you gotta wash them with baking soda, aluminum free. Okay, baking soda, aluminum free. If you had to get that, if you had to take that, Laverne, you
Yes.
gotta soak that with some baking soda,
All right.
aluminum
Thank
free. Got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's
Thank you.
not gonna be as strong, and if those who are those that eat onions will know when you have an organic red onion, you can tell the difference. It's
Certainly can.
powerful. You
All
can
day long.
taste it. You can just take one slice and just almost can't bear it. But
Yes.
when you have
Yes.
these conventionals now, you can just eat them and they don't have that same effect.
Right.
The
Right.
medicinal energy of the organic is very prevalent. It's over the top. Okay, so you definitely know when you got good onions. All right, good question, Laverne. Y'all got some good ones tonight. All right, who do we have now? Let's see here. We got Jewel. Jewel, is that Jewel? Where's Jewel?
Jewel going once.
Jewel Hill. Okay. Maybe she stepped away for a little bit. Cindy. We got Cindy. Did I get Cindy before? I think I got Cindy already.
Yeah, you did. That you did.
Okay, I got Cindy. Michelle. Michelle.
Hey, hey, Dr. Pong
Hey.
family. How are you all?
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, we're doing well. Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well myself. Just trying to stay safe.
Okay, that's right. Stay safe now.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I don't have a question. It's just a quick statement, but I just want you to help me understand, like, how is it that these cases, COVID cases, are constantly still rising while everyone is like constantly still wearing masks, everyone is vaccinated, and it's like I try not to watch the news, but it's like you keep hearing all these variants, and it's just like it's so confusing.
Well, remember, Michelle, you're not the only one. Everyone is confused. Even the people that are giving the information are
Amen.
very confused.
So very
Okay. Just understand that's why we focus so much on your immune system. You can't believe the lies. There's so many lies and things that are told that, I believe that we're starting to experience political pressures. Okay, political pressures from industry, from economics, from industry, because things aren't moving. It seems like we're on a treadmill and we're not moving anywhere. The variants are absolutely spot on. Did you hear that they're talking about the mutations they're having a problem with these mutations where this thing is variant, not only variants are variations of one, they're now talking about how the COVID and the one from Britain have merged to create a hybrid. I don't know if y'all heard about this.
Just today, as a
This
matter of fact.
thing is crazy. I mean, it's to the point where they can't keep up with the variants and the amount of situations that are going on, what they're experiencing. So the only true evidence that you have of anything to protect you is going to be your immune system. So that's why you got to keep it clean. That's why we're talking about today the colon cleanse and the parasite cleanse. Because if you keep it moving, that thing can't stay in you. You got it? That's why we talk about even back in biblical times, they talk about, cleansing the system. Even before they went into prayer and supplication, they did fasting. Fasting, all that's talking about keeping it moving. That's keeping things praying. So yeah, they are confused. Everyone's confused. And they're trying to push the ball down the field, but it's not working. You cannot. This is one battle where you cannot pay off. You can't pay this one off. You can't, push it down the field. You can't rewrite the laws on it. This thing is going to make you. It's going to take its course. This is what they say says when God in the last days, he said that I will put a hook in the jaw and bring them forward and bring them down. And that's what we're experiencing. So what you should be is not discouraged. Understand that you have the truth inside of you. So what do you got to do? Don't break the rules. Got it? Know where you are at all time and don't break the rules. If there's dietary laws you need, go back to the books of Deuteronomy. Or if you have any books of Leviticus, or even if you're looking at the Quran or whatever religious book that you're following, you're going to find some dietary laws in those cultures.
Leviticus
you got me?
7, Deuteronomy 14.
Yes, Deuteronomy 14. So I want you all to make that a point to go back to the clean and the unclean. And then when you start to pick up food, you need to be looking and picking up food and saying, what's in this? What's in it? You got it? Because they're not going to be able to if you if you got a shot, all right, you got a shot based on what they did 9 months ago. And you get on television every day saying that it's another variant, another variant, another variant. And then they say, well, what is this one shot good for all of them? It can't be. How can it be? When they just told you at the same breath that it's mutating. That means when it mutates, it's actually growing, it's developing, it's alive, it's being able to defend itself now. It then already peeped and said, Bill, I see him coming. All right, this time I got something for you. This time. You got me? So now it's going to come with a different way of protecting itself. You remember I told you about those parasites? When the parasites are sweeping out, they see you coming. What they doing? They say, uh-oh, we better hide. We're going to do something. They're always trying to procreate. And that's what the virus is doing. It's starting to mutate and it's building, it's growing. It's allowing it to now keep and build itself to now grow. It's growing. So what do? You need something alive to deal with something alive. That's what your immune system is. Got it?
Yes.
All right. Don't be discouraged, though, family. Don't be discouraged. Okay, I do have something I want to talk about today. I want to talk about your teeth.
Okay.
Well, before you do,
I want to talk about your teeth. Lydia, you want to chime in on this one?
yes, but first I had, before you ask, go into that, when you mentioned about the red onions, you also said about the garlic. Is that the same garlic
Yes.
tea or separate?
Yeah, you can put some garlic cloves right into the tea. Yes, you can.
Okay.
That's what we use to build blood counts. When people have low blood issues or they really need to clean the blood and you want to build the blood count, or if they've come to you and said that your blood count's too low. Usually red organic onion, and organic garlic. Those
Okay.
two, and you just boil
Um,
them down, and then I'm talking about grandma stuff now, y'all. That's
yeah.
really back there. That's what they really did when they wanted to get you right. They said boil that. They also threw something in your
Mm-hmm.
shoes. Y'all know about
Yeah,
that.
I know that's
Come
Around
right.
your
on
neck.
now.
Yeah, be a
Around your
while.
neck.
First of
Yeah.
all, Dr. Paul, I'd like to thank you because you have given us so many tools to help us to talk to other officials or to doctors when we're told that something's wrong with our body. You have given us a arsenal of things to be able to feel empowered to speak with them and to make
Um,
credible decisions. And I want to thank you for that. Also,
Sure.
I got a
Me
notice.
too.
I got a notice from the city that they're summoning for jury duty March 11th. I'm not showing, of course. If you're 75 or older, you don't have
You
to
don't have
come.
to go. There
But
you go.
but I'm 70 years old, and I'm not coming because why would I sit in a room with all of those people for periods of time to be called when they're saying even today that there is a percentage of airflow that between 1 to 50 people, you
Mm-hmm.
are inhaling someone else's air.
Yeah.
So,
And particulates and droplets and
right. And yeah,
floating
right,
bacteria.
between
Especially
one
if
to
so
50
many
people.
people
And they
don't
had,
hurt.
and he had this
Why you gotta
instrument
go to jury duty?
ain't that
to,
something?
to measure.
Yeah.
So they tell you you can either extend it for 3 months, and that takes you into May. My response will be when the COVID and the variants are over, I'll be more than happy to serve my civic duty as I've done in the
Yeah,
past.
and I'm sure they'll accept that.
Okay.
There's a response that you have to put in the mail. I'm sure you saw in there that you say, they say if you have a legitimate reason why you want to, you
Have to
can put
present
in
a
there.
medical certificate.
Well, no, 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 not you don't. That doesn't have to always be a medical certificate.
Okay.
Okay,
All
but
right.
you do need to put a reason,
Okay.
for why you don't want to do it.
Oh, I have plenty.
If it's caused a distress, that becomes a hardship.
Right.
Got it? That
Yes.
becomes a hardship. So
Yeah.
you would label it as hardship,
Right.
and that I have a low immune system, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore I cannot participate at this
Right.
time. And
Okay.
due to the COVID, and that's usually going to be accepted. They're not that hard on this thing. I'm going to tell y'all, they really have been very lenient with jury duties and things, even though they still have to do their job. This goes back to what I was saying before with Michelle's question. Politics and things have to, businesses, economics
Mm-hmm.
still have
Mm-hmm.
to keep moving.
Yes,
They got to
yes.
show that we still got to do this. That's why they're having a problem with the school systems right now. Y'all know that Dr. Hike comes on after I am on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
So I hear all of the questions that are coming through, and people are saying win, and he's trying to do the best he can do, but he cannot do what
Not so
he is
much.
not capable of
That's
doing,
right.
Not his
That's
which
right.
fault.
is, yeah, he's in position and they have every right to take shots at him, but he cannot do what he is not able to do. He cannot do anything. If they say the children are being exposed to this and they don't want to bring that home, what are
Mm-hmm.
you going to do? How are you going to open up the schools? You gotta have some level of traction. I saw Kamala Harris on this morning
Yeah, I
on the
did too.
news,
Mhm.
and I mean, really, she was cornered by the interviewer almost to the point where the interviewer was getting a little frustrated with her, and you could tell the tension. And she's like, "Look, we can only do what we can do, until this thing walks through the process. You can't push it. You
Yeah.
cannot. You just
Well,
can't do it. Your
well, they
hands
want
are
to
tied."
vaccinate our children. Like I heard that now they want to do the trial runs with our children, and
Yeah,
some parents feel
but
uneasy, like myself. Like I don't
right.
want my
But
child to be no
remember,
guinea.
exactly. But remember what I said. That pressure is going to intensify, y'all. I'm just going to tell you
Certainly
the
is.
pressure to move the ball down the field back to some level of normalcy is about to increase. You're going to see that. You're going to see a lot of people, they're trying to do it. They're trying to open up the restaurants. They're trying to open up the gyms. They're trying to get back to it. But this thing is just spinning in its wildness, it's getting worse and worse, and it's getting more variants. So it has to take its course, but you gotta shut it down. You can't just, and it's starting to now play a mental role on a lot of people, including the children, because now the children are saying, we're going into some post, stress now. I can't sit on the TV on this thing for 8 hours a day and do homework on it.
I know that's
mean, the
right.
kids, the
Yes, yes,
children
yes.
are having it right now. So it's a stress on everyone mentally, and it's starting to have an effect on, we talked about the text neck. People are having text neck now, or that's crazy. Text neck. They got a term called
But
text neck.
Dr. Paul, can I say
Okay.
something real quick?
Right.
Now, really quick. Now they said the science says that kids are safe to go back to school, and others say, well, it's not safe.
No, yeah.
for kids to
If
fight.
that was
It's
true,
confusing.
yeah, if that was true, they would have opened the doors right away. You got it?
And
They
all
would have said
schools are
that.
not equal. All
Every
schools
yeah,
are not equal.
exactly. And now that Philadelphia schools had problems with asbestos and bed bugs and all kind of other stuff. Now, you really believe they can protect these children from COVID if they couldn't
Under
even
normal
correct the issues of clean water? Because remember, water was a problem down in West Philly. They
clean
had an
buildings.
issue with asbestos. A lot of bed bugs up in Germantown, in the schools up in there. A lot of them haven't been overdone. These are some of the oldest schools in the country are right here in Philadelphia. So, if you couldn't correct those problems, how in the world are you going to protect my child, going to school? Not going to do it. Can't go for that. So that's why that's the challenge. That's what the challenges are going to be. This thing is here to stay, and as long as we are still not going to provide proper ways of shutting it down, like when there's ever an event, you see sporting events and stuff still going on, and people still getting together, still having parties, still celebrating because they're tired and they're fatigued. We're going to still keep spinning with this, y'all. We're going to keep spinning. So, Lydia, go ahead with your question there.
I had the opportunity to go shopping at this grocery store and talk with one of the managers because I said I wanted to find out how much organic. Now, the same store, depending on the neighborhood, it caters to that type of menu. But the fruits and vegetables looked wonderful. They were beautiful. But the only organic they had was little packages of carrots, the miniature carrots, and that was it. He said that if he had the organic, he said when he gets it, the people look at the pricing, and then he loses that, and they go, they rot. So he has to cater to the community, and that goes back to the mindset. They'll look at that, like he said, onion, say, I'm not paying that much. And organic is the same onion, but they don't realize. He says that wax is on there.
There you
He
go.
knows it. He said he even took it home, the vegetables, and showed his wife. And he said out he washes all of his food in the water. And he says that he showed his wife. He had to show her. He says, now when this stuff soaks, look at what's coming out in the sink. And he says that's what they're putting in their body.
Yeah.
I use that organic spray for fruits and vegetables. And when you spray it and wash it, you can feel it just falling off. So it's a shame that you really have to go out of your neighborhood to get the total fruits and vegetables that are organic because they will only cater to that community.
Wow. And that's what happens. We use an example, Camden. Over in Camden, there was a situation where they did not have the amount of the first food deserts, and two, the stores don't have the money to pay those to truck it in. So that's another problem. That's usually why the food deserts are there. They just don't have those stores or the desire to have fresh organic foods. So that's why they throw all the waste stuff. You see the worst of the worst foods in our neighborhoods, because they don't, number one, there's not a desire for good fruits and vegetables because not a lot of people eat fruits and vegetables. Number two, organic. Number three, why should I pay extra money for that? You
That was
got it?
their primary thing. Was
Yep.
the
Yep. So that's where it comes back to now education again. Educating people on why, it's good to have, organic versus conventional, and that the rate of energy of a conventional to organic is 4 to 6 to 1. That means you got to eat 4 to 6 conventional to equal one organic. And the conventional has all of the wax, and the wax is actually waterproof. So
Yes.
that means you got to take one of those scrub brushes to pull the
Mhm.
wax off of there.
You have to spray it.
And it has the chlorpyrifos on them, which is the pesticides, and then it's got a whole lot of other stuff that you probably don't even know. So these are the challenges. This is what people are having. It messes up your endocrine system. That wax messes up your endocrine
I
system.
know that's right.
So if you're
And this is the
diabetic,
manager of the fruits and vegetables. We
Mhm.
were having that conversation. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you. And I just
Okay.
want to let you know you messed up my Christmas when you said about the sea urchin versus the earth urchin, because I make a mean pasta salad, and I had all my shrimp ready and ready to make that salad. And I couldn't, once you said about you made the analogy what the shrimp was on the earth, I could not I could not bite or even fix it, and had to throw them out. I said,
See,
Okay,
that's
shrimp.
better,
and
Lydia.
I'm a
You
shrimp
you just
person.
saw them shrimp. You saw them shrimp little legs. You said that looked
I
just
could,
like a roach.
if
Oh
you had to
my
compare them
lord,
with
that looked
anything
just
else,
like a roach. I'm
I
eating
see,
roaches.
once you say I was done, I couldn't do it. And I've been eating shrimps even for years, and I love them. And I tried and I tried.
Yeah,
So
you
thank
got
you
them.
very much. I meant
You're
to tell you
welcome.
that
She
today.
said, thank you very much. So there.
Good for me.
Dr. Paul.
Yes. All right. Let me finish this, and I'm gonna come to you, Farouk. Okay. All right,
I,
our family. I want to talk about. Lydia also had a great situation. She was bringing to my attention, and I said, you know what, I'm going to bring this up tonight, and I want to share this with you. That every, just like we talk about the spine, that every nerve in the back is connected to an organ in the body, but the same thing happens all over your body. They call it meridians, and these meridians are all over the body. So you have in your mouth, in your teeth, there are the teeth have meridians also. And that means that every tooth in your mouth is connected to an organ in your body. Dang, that's pretty deep, ain't it? That means that if you have a bad tooth in a certain part of your mouth, that may be triggering your chronic condition or your chronic disease. Did you ever hear about that? I'm going to share with you a chart. And Big B, I'm gonna have to, maybe you can, if y'all want to snapshot this, and I'm gonna bring it up kind of big on my screen. So I want y'all, if you want to get your pictures ready or whatever, because we'll post it. I will post it on my website this week.
Okay.
But I want to just give you. I found this one. I have a lot of different ones, but I just want to give you a basic one that you can see, that everyone can see. So I'm going to share my screen.
Paul, you
I'm
talking
going to
about
show
Dr.
you.
Paul, make sure that I get it. So when I edit the piece, I can actually put it in there and make sure it comes up.
Got you.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to share this. Take a look at this, family. Let me know when you can see it.
We got it. It's there.
You see it?
Yeah.
It's there.
Okay, you see the chart?
Yeah.
And now you can see this one is the upper teeth, and the lower. Okay, but they move in numbers from your upper right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See the directions? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Coming back, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 27, all the way around to 32. You got it? Now, here's a very interesting thing. Every tooth in your mouth connected to an organ in your body.
Wow,
And
never
you
knew
can
that.
see, if you start off from where one is, look where it is. That's usually where they try to get you to move. Well, you remember when they say remove your what? Wisdom teeth, right?
Wisdom teeth, yes.
Right here. 1 and 16, 32 and 17. Those are the ones that usually you have to move. But look what it deals with. Heart, small intestines, inner ear. central nervous system, inner ear, heart, small intestines. Down on the other side, peripheral, outer ear. And then the other side, 17, is the peripheral system also. That's outer ear, heart, small intestines. So when you have a problem in this area, where you have a tooth that gets rotted or just sitting in there and it's actually cavity, if it has cavities in there or is starting to get infected, it can affect those areas.
Wow.
You got it? So if you look at one going up the line, number two would be with the sinuses, the nose, parathyroid issues, esophagus, stomach, thyroid, esophagus, stomach, pancreas. See how it's moving? It's like it's moving up along the body. You got it? It's like it's moving up the body. The thymus, the lungs, the colon, the appendix, the eyes. That's where the canines are, the gallbladder, even to the frontal sinus. That's your two front teeth. You know what, Bill? I got my two front teeth kicked out when I was little.
Well,
Frontal, sinuses, kidneys, urinary, genitalia. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right in the middle. Eyes is the other canine, going down to large intestines, thyroid, nose, central nervous system. You see how this goes, family? And then it picks up again on the lower side. 17 is peripheral. That's balance, arteries and veins, nose, sinuses, nose, liver, gonads, adrenal glands, going up the gonads, gallbladder, liver, all the way up to sinuses, nose, esophagus, lymph system, veins, nose, arteries, and then back to 32. Isn't this amazing?
wow.
I hope that you can snapshot that. If you can snapshot that, take a picture of that. We're going to load that. Bill, I'm going to fire this over to you also.
Yeah, please.
So that you can post
I'll
this.
put that exactly in at the point where we're talking about tonight. I'll edit that right in, Dr. Paul.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So I want you to see these because remember, let me unshare now. I'm going to share. Everybody got a picture, right? Everybody get your picture?
Yep.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay, the whole purpose of me showing you that is that I want you to understand that, there is a time when a lot of people were getting a lot of root canals. And a lot of the root canals, they'll have like the four prongs, like the root, right? And one area goes bad. So what they'll do is They'll drill down, clear out that root, and then pack it with an antibacterial agent,
Yes.
seal it off, and now you're good to go, right? But now that one side no longer, and it's hard to get to probably, can now build up bacteria. Now it can get infected. It can also stop making the white blood cells around it, so now it causes a problem. It becomes an infection. Now that infection leads to that line on that chart that I just showed you. So there was a doctor that was actually working for 20th Century Fox back in the day, and he wrote a book because he said, you know what? He was the dentist for the stars, all the major stars. So he would said, I'm noticing that every time somebody gets a root canal, soon after they come out with a chronic disease. He couldn't figure this out. So he started attaching this thing to maybe it's because the teeth. Every time they get a root canal, next thing you know, high blood pressure, diabetes, some other complication started happening. So he started doing the research and he found out, yep, that's it. There was an infection happening in those lines.
Wow.
You got it? So he started to do things to help people to start to not get the root canal. Sometimes, yes, the tooth has to go. You got it? Sometimes they're trying to keep the teeth because it's got to keep you coming in. But sometimes that tooth got to go. But I want to say to you tonight, if you have any teeth that are loose or they may have an infection or there's been question about being able to clean them because of where they're positioned, please check your teeth. Got it? Check your teeth. Even if you don't have any more teeth, okay? Make sure the gums in those positions are doing well. You got it?
Okay.
We go back to things like oil pulling. Okay, oil pulling. If you know about oil pulling, it's an ancient or Vedic Indian concept, goes back thousands of years. Utilizes unrefined oil. We say use sesame oil. We call her the queen of oils. And with that, all you would do is just oil pull for about 5-10 minutes a day. It can help to rid infections in the jaw or in the mouth or in those lines that you could be having a problem. Now, I'm going to back up 2 steps. Sometimes people in these teeth that you see in these specific positions, someone may have still mercury fillings. Anyone still have mercury fillings in your mouth? Okay. Some people, if you do, you probably want to make sure. No, not probably. Make sure you get those removed. You got it? Because what's happening is, remember, mercury is a banned element. You can no longer utilize mercury in things like thermometers. That's why you don't see the thermometers with the mercury. You don't see blood pressure monitors with mercury, or do you see the temperature gauges with mercury, because it is a banned element. There was one guy who was a dentist. I heard a story, a very sad story, about a dentist who said that, I had a traumatic experience as a dentist. I had a child that was in my seat that I was working on. And he said, we've always been promoted to push mercury fillings. So he had the child in the seat. He said to the child, he says he had the mercury in its capture point. He had it in the mouth of the child and told the child, hold that right there. Went to reach for an instrument. The child swallowed the mercury. When the child swallowed the mercury, the dentist, of course, it became an emergency situation. The child ended up dying, unfortunately. Within about 5 or 6 hours, the child died of a toxic anaphylactic shock that the child went through. He said, I quit the industry after that. That was his testimony. He said, I quit the industry after that because he said, I no longer said, if I got to do that and it's got to affect children, I don't want any part of it. Just to let you know that that's how toxic mercury is in the body. You got it? It's a metal. It's a heavy metal. So you don't want it in your teeth. If you still have it in there, you need to get what's called a biological dentist. Okay, check your coverage. Find out if your coverage, and what you would do, just a phone call to the coverage for your dental and say, hey, who is the closest biological dentist that service my area? That's what you want to ask. All right. I had on my show one of the leading, probably in this area, what we're talking about, dentist. She's a biological dentist. Her name is Blanche. Let me see if I can get Blanche's number. And maybe you can look up her office. And if you have a situation, Blanche is in Allentown right now, but she was opening up, and I believe last time I talked to her, in Philadelphia. But her name is Blanche. Last name is Grube. Grube. Okay, she's a biological dentist that has several locations that she's doing it, and she's helping people to remove this heavy metal out of their mouth. Okay, that's how toxic this is. So we're seeing autonomic issues with people having autonomic issues. It can cause issues where you ever see the people who shaking their hands, shaking things like that. Those are precursors for damage of the the myelin sheath, which is what's happening with people with multiple sclerosis or ALS or Lou Gehrig's or Parkinson's family. You got to understand that when that damage to that nervous system, it can happen right here in your teeth. You got it? So family, keep your teeth clean. Stay away from. And because we're in the holistic side, we make sure your toothpaste doesn't have sodium lauryl sulfate and fluoride. Those are the two. Got it? Sodium lauryl sulfate and of course fluoride. We just don't believe that you want to put a heavy metal. Anything that has a warning sign on it should tell you right there. It should say, it says warning. If you swallow more than the toothpaste size of this toothpaste, call the poison control board, right?
There we
But
go.
wait a minute. From what I just showed you on this list, if you took something poison like a fluoride and you did it, do you think it's going to affect any of these areas of your mouth? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
By you not swallowing it, are you not absorbing it through the gums? It's crazy, y'all. It's really crazy. So that's what the issues are. I just wanted to bring that to the family. All right. So
What's her phone number?
Neem would be a good one. Neem, Neem. Neem would be a good one. Blanche, I don't even know what Blanche is doing right now. I had her on my show a couple of times on the Green Hour. Grube. Dentist. There she is. Blanche.
Good.
Yeah, she's temporary closed right now. Dr. Blanche Grube.
Oh.
Yep, she's closed. Yep. This is all COVID. Blame it on COVID. I knew it.
So
Yep.
Dr. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So for the neem, is that safe for like your teeth? Like it won't mess your teeth up or anything, just like the charcoal powder?
No. What you're doing is, remember, you're not abrasive with it. It's going to be a light scrub without pulling the enamel. Okay, it's not going to pull the enamel. Neem is just make sure it's a toothpaste. See, what they do is when the ingredients in the toothpaste, they put those things that are not going to be so abrasive that's why I say watch the sodium bicarbonate. A lot of people use baking soda, but that's too abrasive. Got it? That's too abrasive. That can pull the enamel off. So you got to be careful with that one. So that's why if you put the charcoal, they usually put extra things in the charcoals, other organics that actually help it. Like you'll see a lot of different ingredients with a lot of the toothpaste, but it's to soften it from being so abrasive, but yet still keep its organic properties, and that it's in effect good for you. Got it?
Dr. Paul, is it best to get your tooth pulled or a root canal?
What was that?
Is it best to get your tooth pulled rather than a root canal?
That's a call. That's a call that needs to be made. You got to make them say that it's an infection and that it is past the point of being regenerated.
Yes.
Right. Once it's past the point of regeneration and you got to pull it, you got to pull it. Got it? Don't let it sit in there because that thing get rotten and you see what it can do to your other parts of your body.
Yes.
You got it? It can cause blood issues, and then now messes up with your other parts of your body. So if you got to pull it, you got to pull it. All right. But usually the oil pulling, let me just give you an example. Some people are doing the oil pulling, and even dentists, regular dentists that are not biological dentists, are telling people saying, hey, you know what? I can give you a root canal today, or you can go oil pull and come back in 3 months to see what's going on. And they come back in 3 months, don't need a root canal. So it's very possible. It's based on how the tooth is regenerating. One of the number one things, stay away from what? Sugar.
Yes,
Number one,
yes,
stay
yes,
away
yes,
from the
yes.
refined sugars, y'all. That's what's messing the teeth up. What's another one? Sodas. Sodas are messing up the teeth. Absolutely. Yeah, coffee too. Coffee messes them up. Wine. All those things that are acidic, okay, are going to pull the calcium out of your teeth. And then that's what's going to cause the problem. Even those waters, people drinking distilled water all their life. Oh,
Yes.
man, I had so many people come down and sit with me and said, Doc, I wish somebody would have told me, because even in the health industry, people are pushing the distilled water. I get it. I totally understand you want clean water, but you need water with a charge, or else it's going to send you into a state of acidosis, which is a crisis. And then your body's going to try to grab the calcium from your teeth. So if you pour that water on a plant, you'll kill it. That's crazy. So that's why you want things that are as natural as you are. If you would not give it to a baby, you shouldn't be eating it either.
I know that's right.
How about that? Y'all hear that?
What
If
about
you wouldn't give it to a baby,
toothpaste?
you shouldn't be eating it either. Okay.
What about toothbrush? Is it a specific toothbrush we should get?
There are some natural sticks that we used to use to chew. This is called the Chadwick stick. Anybody know about these? Yeah, there's natural things. Brushing is just not hard. You don't have to brush hard, just consistent, right? There's Chadwick sticks. Hold up, Chadwick. Let me see if I can pull one up. There are these sticks that you can actually use. They actually use, and you just chew on them, and it cleans the teeth. That's the old school way of doing it. And it looks, when you chew it, it brushes off like a little brush, like a natural brush, and you just chew it all throughout the mouth, and it cleans the teeth. Okay, I'll see if I can find it before we leave. All right, but I wanted to say one last point with that. Watch your teeth, family. Watch your teeth. Okay, strengthen the teeth. Stay away from the fluoride toothpaste. We say watch the bleaching, because if you bleach, that's going to pull the enamel. Because once you pull the enamel, now with the bleaching, what's going to happen? Your teeth get an extra sensitivity. Now you're so sensitive. Now what's going to happen? Your teeth, you're going to say, wait a minute. Every time I take something hot or cold, got that little sharp pain. Ooh, yeah, no more protection. Oh, but we got another toothpaste for you. It's called Sensodyne. So just keep in mind that if you stay natural, just get you a good toothpaste. If it's a mouthwash, make sure it's no fluoride. Got it?
There you go.
All right, Big B. I think we're about time to go, man.
Yeah, man.
It's almost time to go. But before we go, I got Brother Farouk. Farouk, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
sir.
yes.
We got you, buddy.
And Brother Farouk, I asked Brother Farouk because he came in this week. Let's give Brother Farouk a hand because he finally got through. He's visually challenged, but he made it in this time. He made it in, y'all. He was like, Doc, I'm going to get there. He got there. He came in, and we had a great session. And Farouk, you actually had something that you wanted to share with us that I did not know about you, and that's that many people are trying to kick that coffee thing, that coffee thing, I'll call it.
Yes.
Which means that they got a lot of coffee. Gotta have my coffee, Doc. I gotta have my coffee. Gotta have at least one. Can I have one? Can I have a half? Everybody, they be sitting there negotiating. Like, look, I'm just telling you, it races the system and it causes, issues with the system. Get low acidity coffees is what I tell them. There are options. There are pros and cons with coffee. So you just got to get the ones closer to the equator. That's like the Kenyan coffees, the Ethiopian coffees, all those, because they're low acidity. But then we had the conversation with Brother Farouk, and he says, I got that Ganoderma, Doc. I said, what? You got what? He has the Ganoderma. The Ganoderma is my alternative coffee that I tell everyone all the time. If you want to make sure you get an alkaline coffee, you get the Ganoderma. That's Ganoderma. That's the mushroom, or the reishi mushroom. I got it? And a lot of brothers and sisters, I used to always put it out there that there's a lot of brothers and sisters selling it, but I can't remember who they are. Well, Brother Farouk is one that actually has been selling this for years, and he let me know. I said, man, why didn't you let me know a long time ago? So I want to put you on right now, Brother Farouk. Tell them how can they get this, because I just want to tell you also what the Ganoderma is, the mushroom, which is good for memory. It's also good for concentration, Alzheimer's, dementia. That's what the memory is for. So Ganoderma is an alternative to regular coffee, and it's alkaline. So, brother, tell them how they can find out, how they can get this thing from you.
Well, I say I mean, if you could type it up, Dr. Paul.
Just say it slow, because we
Which
we
is
have the sisters actually putting it in there. I think
okay.
Prophetess is still doing it. I don't know if she's still on. Is she still
I
on?
think she's still there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Tell them slowly.
Go ahead.
All right. So it is Frank Washington 1001 my organo ORGANO gold.com. I'm gonna say that one more time is Frank FRANK Washington, which is WASHINGTON 1001, which is 1001 my
.my. Mm-hmm.
Is that MY
organo
or MI?
MY
Wait.
MY. .my.
organo ORGANO gold.com.
Okay. Y'all get that?
I think so.
Okay, that's Frank's website, and I want to say this because we want to show you some love, Frank. Because we know that this is something that you've been doing for a while, and I want to be a blessing to you, brother. That I hope that if you are someone who wants to try it, just give it a shot, y'all. Give it a try. Give the website. That's Frank's website, and he has his own business that he's running. Let's bless this brother tonight, and order just a pack, just to see if you want to test it. You might be changing your life, right, Frank?
Okay.
Tell him,
Yeah.
Frank.
Right. Yeah, right.
Okay, Dr. Paul, that did
Yes.
not come up as a website. Frank, is your name Frank Washington, one word?
Yes, it's all one, all
Yes.
straight through.
Yes.
It's not coming up.
Frank,
Oh, you
is it
gotta-
Frank? Is it Frank dot Washington?
No, Frank Washington 1001. That's why I didn't come out, because
Okay, somebody
it's
else,
Frank.
let's see if
Is it triple W first?
No, you can Google search it. That's probably why. Yeah,
Okay.
Google search
All
it.
right. So let's try to do that. Let's see if we can get a. Let me see if I can get a link for you. Okay. Did you get it, Prophetess?
it's still it's thinking.
One dot my organo.
Actually shut my computer down. Oh no, wait a minute. Okay.
Take off the
somebody else
www.
put it in there. It was missing.
Take off the www.
Yeah, it comes up.
It comes
Frank-
up. Yeah. Actually. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Take
did you
off the
get it?
www.
Take off the triple W.
Yep, it's there.
It's there.
Got it.
Okay. Can somebody just print that one more time so that we're clear? Okay. Everybody got it?
And just to let y'all know, there's also not just coffee, it's like tea, and it's, oh man, that thing is powerful. And you can also be a distributor as well for those who want to do it as well. You can sign up, and it's a powerful resource for for those who are interested as well.
Okay.
And as well as it has there's other skincare products as well in there.
Oh wow. Okay. So Frank, we're gonna say definitely, man. We're gonna support you on that, and I'm gonna make sure we post that on all the. I see all the different ones. Yes, it's up. I see it also. So,
sorry, Dr. Paul.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut in. I'm just wondering, does it ship to Canada?
Frank,
Could you ask him,
or
please?
Farouk.
Yes, it ships. It's all over the world.
Oh, sounds good. Thanks.
Excellent. All right. So for those
Only thing
who
you
are
gotta do is
trying
put
to,
the order in. That's all you gotta do is submit your order.
There you go. There you go. So you go. So definitely, and I see there's a lot of different things that he has on here.
Yes.
There's also gourmet black coffee. Now
And
we
just for
talk
everybody,
about.
my name is Farouk Washington. But you see, my name is on that website. But I use Frank as like something that's like a nickname.
Yeah, I got you, man. We got you.
That's not, we got you. We got you, Fruit.
We got your handle, man. All right,
All right.
family.
All right.
I want to thank everyone for chiming in. This has truly been a blessing.
Yes.
And Big B, you want to close us out?
Yeah, guys. I don't even have
Oh,
to say.
sorry. 1 second. I'm sorry. Not them
Mhm.
herbs. I'm starting them for the. I'm always doing my herbs, but your herbs are definitely woo. Love it.
Well,
This for
thank
the
you.
first time I just did my nightcap, man. Woo.
Hmm.
The green drink. I didn't eat nothing today, and I feel good.
It is a meal. It is a meal replacement. Yes, it is. So thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Keep
And the
doing up.
brain supplements twice daily is awesome. All of it, sir.
Okay, great,
Man.
great. Frank's fired up. All right, family. Thank you so much, Frank. We appreciate you, brother. Much love to you, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.
God bless you, baby.
All right, Big B, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, man. I really don't have to say anything about this, Dr. Paul. The fact that we know that this information is just out of sight, and you know what, you continue to bless us each and every week. Again, we just want to remind those who just make sure you share this with all your friends and neighbors, and do what you always do by continue to support us here, and so that we can get all this information out to you each and every week by sharing through Dr. Paul's Cash App. That is the $ Doctor. That's capital DR. Capital PAUL, capital HOP. You get that out, and then let me tell you something. When this is all done, and by the way, make sure I just put my my email address in there so we make sure that you get all of the chat, because we get that out each week when the program is all over. And hey, share, because that's what it's all about, so that we can make sure that we keep the family healthy and all those in the neighborhood that we don't even know right now. Got that?
That's right. That's right.
Every
Well,
week.
thank
Right.
you, family. I want to thank you all. I do have an announcement. I got one more announcement. I'm glad those 100 and something people still stayed around.
Yes.
So my announcement is that next Wednesday, this happens to be my birthday.
Yes. He's 27
And
again.
that's something that it would fall on the family tree day. How about that?
Yeah.
So I was looking at it. I said, you know what? I'm trying to take a day off. And I said, wait a minute. It's on the family tree day. So I want to say we just go and have a little party on here just like we do. I'm taking the day off, but I'll be here though. All right.
All right.
I just want to let everybody know.
right,
Y'all
all
hear
right.
me on the radio saying like, yo, ain't it his birthday? I'm still going to be here. It will be the family tree next week. So even if you just, hey, just shine in, check in, say, hey, what's up? What's up,
right.
Doc? Whatever. I don't care. I'm just going to have a good time and,
That's what's up.
just do what we do, man. And they say I'm
vegan cake.
A vegan cake.
A vegan
yes,
cake.
Vegan cake. That's like Barbara. That had to be Barbara. You gonna give me a bomber? No, I'm gonna eat. It'll be a vegan cake. I guarantee that. But,
Oh my.
but I would say to everyone, I tell you, man, I hope that those that are doing the healthy thing feel a lot better.
Yes.
You don't feel the age that they tell you are.
know
That's
that's
why I always say, we got this going thing with my wife and my son. They laugh at me because I always put it out in the universe. I say, don't claim nothing. You gotta make sure you agree and
I know.
be careful what you set your agreement with. So I always tell them, they always looking at my hair. They see my hair, got a little haircut the other day, and they say, Dad, I see it gray. I see it gray. I said, you don't see nothing. I said, he just a little slow. That's all. He's about to turn black again. He just
Well.
take a little bit of his own time. See, when you get older, son, you understand you ain't gotta rush at everything. Take your
Hallelujah.
time.
I know that's right.
So the funny part is that every time I say that, he'll come back in and look at the same thing and doggone it and turn black. He's like, how you doing that, Dad? And I said, I don't cut it. I don't do no dye. I don't do none of that stuff. I use circulation. You make sure you're taking the right, stay alkaline, do those things. We had several cases of people turning their hair black again. And that's why, it's possible. It's very, I see you, Laverne. Yeah.
Paul, don't you even start.
Very possible.
I got to push mine up from the scalp.
Anything's possible, Bill.
Anything's possible. Keep hope alive.
Glory.
All right, family. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. And always remember, this is your Social Security is your family, right?
Yes, sir.
So God bless y'all. May God keep y'all. And we're going to see you next week.
Yes, sir.
And I will be here. We celebrate the Doc's birthday. How about that?
That's
y'all
right.
sound
That's
like a
what's
good
up.
plan to y'all?
That's what's up.
All right. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Yes, absolutely. And so what we're going to leave, I'm going to leave it a little. I'm going to leave a little bit of music. How about that?
Paul.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
And-
All
right.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Good night.
Birthday next week.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday. Yeah, we celebrate the whole week. How about that?
Hey,
Wednesday to next Wednesday.
buddy. That's right. You'll be as young as me by next week, Dr. B.
See, y'all gotta have some good music like this. Y'all gotta have music like this. Can you hear this music? Can y'all hear this music?
I even
Yeah,
got
I can hear it.
you
You can.
Huh? Look out now.
I always tell people, it's the samba music that you gotta feel.
Well,
If you can't feel this music, you better check your pulse.
hallelujah.
Happy birthday.
buddy.
This is your culture, man. This is about your life. The music is speaking to you. It's bringing life. And when I used to listen to this music all the time, it used to do something to me. When I was little, they say Lil Paul used to be out there dancing all the time. He just get out there, start shaking. And say something wrong with that little boy.
Yes.
So God bless y'all.
Right, guys.
And may God keep y'all. And remember, Big B, thank you, brother.
Always, man. Right here.
And if you're breathing,
Y'all got a shot.
you got a shot.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Have fun.
All right. See y'all.
Você não vai escapar.
Big B, a lot of folks came through tonight.
Yes, sir, buddy. It makes you nice. That's what it's all about.
All right.
Way up there. Keeping the family healthy.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through, man. A lot of folks came through. Good to see everybody.
Yes, sir. Look, even my brother showed up in California, Dr. Paul.
All right.
Yes.
Na escuridão da pista nada cedo tarde, chova ou faça sol.
Hey, Greg.
All right. All right, Greg. I see you, man. Bill look like he chilling, man. He chilling in the sofa, man.
I can't stand it. When I grow up, I'm gonna be just like Big B.
He chilling on the sofa. He's like, hey, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it relaxed, right? That's right. All right, peace, family. God bless y'all.
God bless you, man.
We'll see you.
That music.